know when you're live?
It should be live. I don't know.
Are we live?
It's live.
So I'm just sharing this around real quick while the we call it the lobby, even though it's a virtual lobby, fills up. We don't expect many people. We didn't do a lot of. This isn't like one of our typical barter towns that we do every Sunday at 5 where we sell. It's a live claim sale. This is just what we call from retro to right now.
Oh, do I need my phone? I didn't bring it. Do I need it?
You need to turn it down in case you get texts or calls or something.
Oh, yeah, I guess it's a good point.
We are going to just discuss this Rambo collection we came into recently. It's got a really interesting backstory, some weird provenance, we call it. And this is really focused on the like cosplay, what's this called? Like, when you pretend you're Rambo.
Dress up. It's dress up stuff. Yeah.
It's not. There were no figures in this collection. That would be a completely different type of collection. There were, they got the headquarters and some of the vehicles and stuff. But this is, like I said, mostly a cosplay. I've been running around outside pretending I was Rambo with her headband and toy guns.
Where's your
yelling.
headband? Yeah, where's your headband?
That's why I lost my voice. I've been yelling at Murdoch and people in Afghanistan.
Where's your headband?
I lost it.
So what makes this, obviously, okay, the first thing about this collection that we should probably talk about is how much stuff there is. What you guys are seeing around us, behind us, in front of us, underneath us, this is not even half of this collection. I would say this is about a quarter or less.
It's maybe a quarter, maybe a third.
This is...
Oh, that you see right here?
This that you see here in this frame.
This is, this might be like, it's a small percentage. We tried to pull like one of each thing out just to kind of show and put around us. This collection was, first of all, it's a warehouse find. It's all came from Case Fresh. It's been shuffled around in the warehouse for years, so some of it's got, a little bit of bending on the...
Yeah, I don't know if you guys can see this. We left this out on purpose. This is one of the original shipper boxes that this stuff came in. Stephen J. Cannell Productions. It came straight from Lorimar Telepictures.
Stephen J. Cannell, I believe, did things like A-Team.
Yeah,
right?
I don't...
We should have done a little research.
Yeah, no. I'm sorry. Yes, Stephen J. Cannell did all those wonderful
awesome
80s shows.
Action 80s shows.
You guys probably remember, if you're my age, you remember the logo at the either end or beginning of the show with the piece of paper coming out of the typewriter going and flopping around and becoming the C in Cannell.
So this is a gigantic warehouse find.
Monstrous.
Rambo cosplay. There's a word, I can't think of it right now.
Pretend, dress up.
Yeah, dress up stuff.
It's pretend
stuff.
A
lot of stuff, like, I guess bicycles were big. We all had bikes in the 80s. And a lot of it is like toys for bikes.
Yeah,
like this grenade. I would have killed for this. I didn't have a lot of Rambo stuff when I was a kid. I love the movies.
Oh, I already have one of those.
This is a squeeze horn and headband. So it comes with the red headband. And the horn is actually a grenade that you squeeze. I wonder if I could do it through the packaging.
This one is a hand grip with play knife and sheath that goes on your bike handle.
Some of this stuff, you get shot.
Piece. Is it this one? This piece. It's a clicker gun. You have this now out in public and you're getting shot.
This is before, this stuff obviously is before the red tips on guns.
Yeah.
These are the guns and toys I played with as a kid. Realistic. Rambo was as we all know, it started with First Blood, which was a fantastic movie, then moved into Rambo, and I believe it's the first toy property and cartoon, eventually, that was based on an R-rated franchise. I believe this is the first, because then it went on to RoboCop and a couple other things.
Yeah, the 80s spawned a lot of movies that turned into kids' properties that should not have ever been kids' properties. Rambo is the first one I can think of.
Yeah, Matt said Rambo role-play toys, and that's what these are.
Yes.
So if you guys, I want to tell the gist of this video real quick. This isn't like the claim sale. This is what we call retro to right now. We've done a few of these. It's where we talk about a specific toy line or a specific toy sometimes.
It's just a little way for us to take you into the past with us on a really cool
especially when there's a story
thing.
behind it.
Yeah. And boy, is there a story behind this collection.
What we're going to do is, this is the live video, but I'll read out some of your comments because we are going to do a little bit of editing to this post.
Very little.
And put it on YouTube. We're going to add some pictures of probably Stallone going, We'll put that right there.
So I'm going to try not to look at the comments too much because I want to be a little more organic, but Andrew made a comment that is absolutely amazing. I need to repeat. Is this our video dedicated to the brave Mujahideen fighters of Afghanistan?
That was part 3, right?
It was part 3.
Yep. Maybe it is. It's dedicated to all freedom fighters everywhere and POWs. That got, that Rambo brought back to Murdoch in part 2.
So
we wanted to call this something, but I don't know if Rambo has a catchphrase.
Oh yeah, so I was trying to think of like a funny phrase like
nothing is over.
Yeah, that's not really
nothing.
Yeah, that's really not that funny. So I didn't. But so this whole From Russia to Right Now thing, it's kind of, well, first of all, that's our catchphrase. Speaking of catchphrases, that's our catchphrase. But we thought it would make a really good name for like a little series of just behind the scenes kind of histories, cool stories.
It's us doing toy reviews, or talking about what we want to talk about.
Yeah, and that's what we're doing today.
It might be retro stuff, it might be right now stuff.
And that's why it's From Retro to Right Now, which is great.
Let's jump into the bicycle stuff.
Yeah, well, let's backpedal here. Okay. No pun intended with the bike stuff. Let's picture it. Farpoint, July 2018. We get a phone call.
So this is 2.5 years ago.
Yeah, 2.5 years ago, we get a phone call. Hey, I have a bunch of Rambo stuff. It belonged to our dad. I have 3 siblings. It belonged to our dad, and our dad knew Sylvester Stallone. We have a bunch of Rambo stuff. You guys interested? And we're like, we've heard, not that exact story, but we've heard similar things before. Oh, my uncle knew this guy, my cousin knew that guy.
Honestly.
But we said, sure, we'll take a look.
You see a famous person in movies, and we all feel akin to certain... I feel like I know Arnold Schwarzenegger. He wouldn't know me on the street. But you know how, famous people in our lives, because we see them in the movies we love and as toys and all that. So we were just kind of pulling it off, okay, his dad, was a taxi driver and drove Stallone from the airport
exactly.
one day or
something. My initial reaction was he interacted with Sylvester Stallone once or twice maybe within some sort of career, and that was the end of it. Because Sylvester Stallone strikes me as a nice guy that would give people stuff. And the impression was that the Rambo stuff in question had been given to this guy by Sylvester Stallone personally. So we said, sure, we'd be interested. Let me take a look. And they sent us a few photos and a list of an inventory. And we said, yeah, we're interested. The stuff looked cool.
Yeah, we're interested. When can we meet? What are you looking to get?
And we never heard back.
Radio silence. It's like we were left in Vietnam on our own. We actually found the MIA, the POWs, and Murdoch decided, we're done. You have to stay there, and we're never going to talk about this again. So we forgot about it 2.5 years later.
Totally forgot. Absolutely, totally forgot. Yeah. And totally unrelated, within the last 6 months or so, was it during quarantine or not? We started watching Sylvester Stallone films.
Yeah, this is a weird coincidence.
It is a weird coincidence. So, very, very recently, I would say, we watched all the Rockies and the Creed movies, all the Rambo films.
I realized I needed to catch Penelope up. Not that you aren't well versed, but on all the 80s big action heroes.
I will admit to not being super well versed. Right. Thank you for deferring, but I will admit to not being all that well versed. I mean, we've all seen the classics.
So we started with First Blood, even though it's 70s, because we were somewhere in here we were talking about how First Blood led to Rambo, but First Blood is a much different style movie. And then we just decided, well, you know what? Let's go through all the 80s action heroes starting with Stallone. So we watched all the Rambos, even to the modern, even to the new Home Alone Rambo.
Yeah.
And then, we've been watching movies, and now, fast forward, that was the beginning of the year, the pandemic. Yeah. Fast forward to a week ago, we got an email or a phone call.
So we got a text message, which is how we had been receiving these photos years ago from this person with the Rambo stuff. A random text message out of the blue. Hey, my siblings and I, sorry we haven't contacted you in a while. It's been a few months, he said, which I thought was funny. A little more than a few months. But he said, my siblings and I have all finally decided it's time to let go of the Rambo stuff. And he gave us what they were all interested in getting, which we considered pretty fair based on the original inventory that he had sent us. So we said, sure, let's pick up this Rambo stuff.
So Frank and I drove up, and we saw Frank actually sat way in the back of the truck.
Yeah.
And I sat in the front. It was like driving Miss Daisy.
Yeah.
We had masks on. We went to these people's... It ended up being a business. So I pull up and I have a MapQuest. I was about to age myself there. Google Maps, and it was a building. It was a business, and it was called Tony's Workwear.
Yeah.
And I told them I would talk about the store. I'm not putting them out there. And I was like, well, this isn't a house. Because he didn't tell me it was going to be a business.
And the gentleman in question's name was Anthony. Justin had his name, Anthony, and the address.
No,
and
he told me his name was Tony.
Oh, okay.
So I walked in, and I was like, is Tony around? And there was a young woman there. Working, they're working this workwear store.
Store's open.
I walk in and it's just a beautiful store, like Carhartt and work clothes and boots. And I went to one of the associates and I said, is Tony around? And she looked at me confused and said, oh, no, I'm sorry, Tony died like 6 years ago. And I was like, well, that can't be the same Tony that called me. And I was like, well, listen, hold on. I'm looking for Rambo toys. Just throwing it out there. Either she was going to say, please leave. Obviously, we don't have, or she couldn't know what I was talking about. She was like, oh, you mean Anthony. So turns out the father accumulated this stuff, but Anthony was the one who contacted us, who was the oldest son. Anthony comes out, and I said, hey, we introduced ourselves, and that ended up being his little sister, who turns out is Sylvester Stallone's goddaughter.
Yeah. The story took a left turn that none of us expected it to. Now, again, back in 2018, when they said, oh, our dad knew Sylvester Stallone, we thought, oh, sure, yeah, that's, okay, sure. And again, we weren't questioning that.
Me and Bruce Willis go way back.
But we weren't questioning it necessarily, but, yeah, my dad
what
knew
extent?
Bruce Willis. Yeah, exactly.
It turns out the extent
was much more deep than we had ever expected.
To the point where we are now back on a Stallone film kick.
Well, it's not a Stallone kick. Instead, it's a big Tony Munafo kick. Tony Munafo being the dad of Anthony and Gina, who is the goddaughter of Sylvester Stallone.
Tony
and
was
Joe.
The best man at Sylvester Stallone and Brigitte Nielsen's wedding. They were showing me like wedding pictures.
Yeah. So Tony was not just Sylvester Stallone's bodyguard for many years. They also became very good friends. Yeah. He was, as Justin said, the best man at his wedding to Brigitte Nielsen. They go way back. Tony actually was associate producer on a number of his films, including two that we recently watched, Daylight and Over the Top, including there are many others, not just those two.
That's why we've been, if you've been following our posts, we've been talking, singing "Meet Me Halfway Across the Sky."
Yeah.
And
so, what we thought was just going to be like a weird collection of Rambo stuff has turned into the Big Tony collection of insane Rambo stuff.
Rest in peace, Tony Munafo.
Yes, rest in peace. He passed away in 2014.
He accumulated all this stuff. He started a business up in around Brick, New Jersey, near Toms River. And
the business started out as Tony's Discount, and the address can still be seen on a lot of the Case Fresh cases that we got.
Yeah, so obviously his ties with Stallone got him the hookup with, oh my God.
There are cases and cases and cases of all the stuff that you see here.
Yeah.
This is, again, as we said, to recap a little bit, this is not even like a quarter of all of the stuff.
And as Frank and I are popping the boxes, because we had an inventory, we just need to make sure the inventory is right
or close
to agree on the
it.
price.
Yeah.
We're looking at we're just like, oh my God, I can't. Not often do you come across warehouse finds. We've bought big collections, and we've bought collections that have this type of thing with one of each thing, but not with cases of everything. Not typically. And
certainly not cases of things that are, this one's from Lorimar, there's one from MGM. They have Sly written on the side of them.
Yeah. This is from a very close...
A very interesting... The provenance on this collection is really cool. Some of the pieces are in amazing condition. We do have a couple of the Savage Strike headquarters. One or two of them are really nice. Some of the stuff did have a little bit of water damage.
Yeah, well, from sitting. Let's just talk about the stuff itself.
Yeah. What do we got here?
I want to talk about the bicycle stuff first.
There's so much of it.
Because I didn't even realize as a kid that the Rambo toy line extended itself to stuff that was specifically for your bicycle. Like the grenade horn. Now imagine your bike.
I cannot imagine.
You got your BMX bike. You got a shield on the front of it. Right? This shield goes on the front of your bike.
Now, just a little tidbit. This is the same artwork they used on the lunchbox. The Rambo lunchbox is really unique. It's the last metal lunchbox that was ever produced. So this art was on the metal and the plastic, which is really neat. Just a really cool painting of Stallone there.
So you throw the shield on the front. Then you got your grenade horn. This is specifically a machine gun and scabbard for your bicycle.
That's just too much for me.
Dude,
I don't get it. It's crazy.
So there's a holder that goes between.
Oh yeah, look at the back. You can see it. It goes
your
between the handlebars.
So you can hide it behind your shield. That way, if like the bully kid is like, "Oh, stupid Rambo shield," you can pull out your Uzi from behind the shield and be like, "Who are you talking to?" We are going to try and not curse because
I don't
this is going on
that.
YouTube.
Well, what's
and I don't want to get sued for $15,000.
What's great about YouTube is that you can now tell them whether or not your video is for children. What sucks with Farpoint is that even though we're talking about toys, it's not really a kid's video. It's for retro right now, so we'll try to keep it clean, but we'll see.
So you can whip out your machine gun from behind your shield. Hold on, because it's not over.
It's not over.
This is so cool. It actually goes over your grip on your bike. I'm gonna go buy a bicycle just so I can.
He's not kidding. He's not kidding.
I can suit it out with this stuff. This goes on your grip, right? On the handlebar grip, and then there's a sheath that hangs underneath, and the sword, the knife goes in the sheath. So you can ride your bike and just. Dude, I would have killed somebody for this as a kid.
Literally, he would have killed someone. What else do we have?
Grenade, knife, machine gun, shield.
There's more.
There's another shield version that
There is another shield that does not. This.
So there's one shield that just.
Yeah. There's actually two different shields.
And this comes with. They all come with the headband. That's brilliant.
So is this a smaller version of a shield?
I don't think.
It
is. It's different because
so,
this version of the shield actually has a very realistic.
Very
45.
realistic. A very, very realistic.
If you're in the hood walking around with this, the police are going to put you down.
Yeah, this is not. They're not effing around. Nothing is over. Nothing.
Yes,
yeah,
the comments are fantastic, guys.
Guys, keep the comments coming. They're keeping us alive right now. I just want to recap the fact we're not doing. This isn't a barter town kind of thing. We're not really at this moment selling this stuff. We just want to talk about it, the story, and how weird and cool it all is.
All these toys wanted was something to eat.
Yeah. They just wanted a sandwich. Dude, lift up. I've had to hear this for 3 days straight, and it's more than I can take. Here, pick up the Rambo. Show off the official Rambo jungle kit, because that is too much. I'm going to put this down right here. That one is the one that comes with the very realistic 45. This one does not come with the 45. It is just the shield. I'm going to lay that down right there. That is just too cool.
So this is the jungle kit. It actually has makeup, so you can make up your...
We're off the topic of the bike stuff. This is another bike item.
There's more bike stuff.
Yeah, the Rambo horn with light-up rocket. Remove the battery compartment to screw.
So that's a horn. This is a freaking headlight. We need to buy a bicycle to put all this stuff on it. Do you know how cool that bike would be?
We need to keep one of everything.
This is a spotlight you put on your bike. It actually works with 2 D batteries, it looks like.
That's a lot of batteries. This one's really neat. It's a Rambo Toys for Bikes. Fully adjustable rear view bike mirror, shaped like the front of a helicopter, a Huey coming in for a landing to rescue the POWs.
All right, guys. We need anybody have a bicycle to donate? Because we need the Farpoint Rambo bike. I need to do that. I'm gonna ride around on it.
That might actually be fucking amazing. I gotta say.
All this needs to go on a bike.
Oh, and we're missing the best part. It's right in the front here. The M90 rocket blaster.
I don't know if you can see that.
They can see it. It's perfectly in view. You can just point. It's right up front there.
So this is
how amazing is that?
This is literally like 10 or more things you can put on your bicycle.
That's a lot of stuff.
And make it the Duke of Death. You could turn your bicycle into basically a death-dealing, adolescent death-dealing machine.
It's absolutely insane.
While you're on your bike,
you
can put on your Rambo headband AM radio.
So
listen to your favorite AM radio.
This is my favorite thing in the entire. This is my favorite thing in the entire lot.
First of all, it's Sly's face, which is just
the face on the card.
Nothing is over.
The face on the card is just too much.
Coming to get you, Murdoch.
I'm not Murdoch. That's mean. First of all, the face is amazing. Tara said that we need a Farpoint bike and we can use it in our next commercial. That's a great idea. It could be like an Elliot E.T. ripoff with the Rambo bike. I'm in. Tara's right. We need a Rambo bike. This is amazing because it's got his face on it. I mean, if that doesn't sell a toy, I don't know what will. This face. but it's an AM radio. Is it AM, FM, or just AM?
Just AM.
It's just AM. How amazing is this, guys? I mean, we need to take a minute to just appreciate. It's unpunched. It's an AM radio.
Andrew said, and here I thought Spaceballs was joking with the idea of selling flamethrowers to children. Close here. I mean, we got, Rambo was an R-rated, violent movie.
Yeah.
That obviously went whole hog in trying to sell itself to children.
So Rambo was one of the first ones. I think the first movie that I ever remember as a kid thinking, why are they merchandising this to kids, was probably Clash of the Titans. Now that sounds weird because as a kid I loved, and I still do, love Clash of the Titans, but like in the first 5 minutes of the movie there's bare breasts. So in the 70s, was that a kid's movie? I think it's PG.
So let's not get into how in
but
America
I didn't necessarily think that Clash of the
What's
Titans
worse,
for kids.
bare breasts
or Rambo
or artificial scars?
Yeah. I don't know.
This makeup kit comes with artificial scars. What kid were you? I had to make my own scars as a kid.
Yeah, and they were not artificial.
They were
real.
not artificial.
No.
I would have put this over my eye because as a kid I always wanted that villain eye scar.
No, he says as a kid, but even now he wants that eye scar.
But you have to earn it.
You have to earn it.
You can't do it on purpose.
No, and you can't do it to yourself out in the woods. That wouldn't work.
She'll do it to me one day. So that's the bicycle stuff.
What else are we talking about?
God. Did you do the rearview mirror?
I did do the rearview mirror, yeah. That's the machine gun. We've got, let's have
guys, Rambo. It's a Rambo party.
It's a Rambo party.
Who could ask for more?
Oh, this is a kite. Rambo kite. Rambo kite.
Go fly it. Go fly a kite.
Party favors, the kind of...
I wish I could do the sly. Let me try to do the sly face. Hold on.
Oh no, he's gonna try to do the face.
I have to get into it, so continue.
Okay.
Yeah, please.
The blowers are here. He's over here getting in character. Rambo. It's a table cover for your party. There was one more thing, more blowers. These little guys, because nothing says happy birthday like a Rambo floral party blower. It's got flowers on it, and then Rambo with a fucking. What is that? What is that?
That's an RPG.
He's holding an RPG.
Yeah, it stands for Rocket Propelled Grenade.
I know what RPG stands for. It also stands for Role Playing Game.
In Rambo, in Rambo First Blood Part 2, he blew up a Russian Hind with an RPG. Look at all the helicopters flying around.
It's insane. What year is that? It doesn't have a year.
This got to be like 80-something.
No, there's no year. I mean, of course it's 80-something. I was just wondering what movie it would have come out.
Party favors.
So, most of this stuff... So, they didn't just come out with Rambo toys for the movie. That wouldn't have made any sense. Most of this stuff is more than likely based on the Rambo Forces of Freedom toy line, cartoon. There are a few pieces. Right here in the front, you can see there's a Savage Cycle, the 50 cal anti-aircraft gun, the machine gun.
So Coleco made all the action figure stuff.
Yes.
We have a museum collection of action figures right here.
And the Savage Strike headquarters right behind me.
Which is a grail for Rambo collectors. It's one of those giant 80s play sets. It's actually for the bad guys, though.
Yeah, which I think is really cool. Did Rambo have a headquarters?
No.
He didn't need a headquarters because the jungle was his headquarters.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right. He would infiltrate. It's Savage is the bad guys.
Yeah.
It stands for sorry ass, vengeful, and greatly evil.
I like that.
Something like
That's
that.
not what it stands for. They did not use the word ass in it.
Simple and vengeful and greatly evil.
Okay, we'll go with that one.
Right?
Some more comments coming through down here. I just want to read out loud. They're adding Rambo to Mortal Kombat 11. Finally, Sylvester Stallone as Rambo can fight Arnold as T-800. Andrew, that's a really good point. That's really awesome. What else? What do we got here? There's more.
Well, there's all kinds of this little stuff too. So Coleco made the action figure stuff. They had the rights to make all the action figures, vehicles, and the stuff that that the typical '80s collector stuff. This is not typical stuff. This cosplay
it's a lot more role play stuff.
The White Dragon Ninja stars because ninjas. Does anybody remember a ninja in a Rambo movie?
Not in the movie, but in Forces of Freedom, I believe there was one.
Yeah, White Dragon Ninjas.
White Dragon Ninja. This
Matter
is
of fact,
more
there's
White
the Forces
Dragon.
of Freedom symbol.
Yeah. So this is the complete warrior set for the White Dragon. You got the throwing stars, the nunchucks, with the sai thing on the end, and the little knife, the whole nine.
There's a lot of White Dragon stuff. So if you don't want to be Rambo,
You can be a white dragon ninja.
I mean, tell me that's not a bite off a Storm Shadow, which I guess is just a generic ninja in white.
I mean, ninjas come in white, I guess. Oh, this isn't, I'm sorry, these are not nunchucks. This is a Bakatsugama.
I gotta tell you, and this is just a feeling. I don't know if this is real.
From Largo Toys Incorporated.
I believe G.I. Joe was the first 80s toy brand to bring in ninjas into the forefront of military and stuff. Everybody else was probably chasing that. You know,
Bob just said ninjas were huge in the 80s.
Oh, no doubt about it.
But when did they start being huge? What was the thing that started?
Well, so there were some movies like American Ninja. And,
I mean, all that.
Right.
Yeah.
But as far as like in toys, and then, you know, Chuck Norris Karate Commandos, again, post Rambo and post G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
I want to say that G.I. Joe was the first brand smart enough to bring ninjas into its military ethos.
Eagle Force. Someone just commented in the comments. Eagle Force.
I didn't remember if Eagle Force had ninjas.
Eagle Force. Were they military? They were military guys as well, right?
Oh, yeah, they were die-cast.
Ninjas.
Yeah, and Sergeant Rock.
What else? So, okay, I already said I keep saying my favorite thing,
You got costumes.
There's a couple other things that I'm really like. We've got, now this is not for kids, which makes it a little bit creepier.
Why?
That's a grown man with pecs.
Oh my God. Who is that model?
I don't know, but I hope that he's okay wherever he ended up.
He's not.
He's not. This poor man is probably years dead. This is a deluxe Rambo costume for adults. Please check out the camo pants. We've got the Rambo headband that says Rambo on it. In case you forgot who you were dressing as, it says Rambo on the headband.
So you know who it is.
Yeah.
So you're not mistaken for like, a guy just out running.
Wait a minute.
You want to make sure you're Rambo.
Okay, this is really weird. I hate to turn things away from the camera to read them. It does say Rambo many times in case we weren't sure. Black T-shirt included, not pictured on the front because my man is shirtless.
Well, this is what sells it.
Yeah.
This guy.
Black T-shirt, gun, and boots not included.
So the boots aren't included either. So it's just a pair of pants, black T-shirt, a belt.
The headband and probably the.
So this guy took
bandolier.
his money from this modeling shoot.
Yeah.
And immediately went out and bought an '86 Camaro 350.
Stop! There's no way he made enough money on this shoot to buy that car.
All right, so he went out and bought a '79 Camaro with a little bit of rust in the quarter panels.
He actually only got enough to buy the fuzzy seat covers
and a 6-pack of Miller.
Let's put this in the front for a few.
That dude is. I wonder where he is now. I want to find this.
Yeah,
guy.
I want to find that man. Do we have the other costume? Oh, I'm gonna have to get up. We didn't bring one of the other costumes.
Hold on, I have it right here.
You sure?
I thought I did.
Oh, it's up here.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna have to get up. Here we go. This one's not looking too good, but it comes with the mask, the Sylvester Stallone plastic mask. Your mother is waiting for your impression. He already did it, Rachel. I'm gonna switch these out now.
So this is the old school.
Yeah, that's the child. That's the child.
These are the masks I would have worn as a kid. I didn't have a Rambo mask, which just sucked as a kid because I was a little fat kid or a big fat kid in these costumes, and they didn't work for a couple reasons. First of all, the costume itself was like a plastic bag.
Yeah, it's not.
So it was like stuffing Italian sausage into a plastic bag. I remember I have a Batman picture of me somewhere. So it's Italian sausage stuffed in a plastic bag, and then the mask. I wore big thick glasses.
Yeah, it never worked.
The mask, you can't put it over the glasses. So you have to walk around blind at night holding your friend's hand with your glasses like in your candy bag, or you have to put your head up.
Or put your hand on someone's shoulder.
It was terrible. Halloween was
Justin
terrible.
said Italian sausage, and it set me off because Justin is of Italian heritage, as you're aware, I'm sure. I'm sorry, I'm laughing so much, I'm like almost crying. Justin is of Italian heritage. I want to bring this down because I want everyone to be able to see my face. So, Justin obviously has some Italian ancestry. And when him and Frank came back, now we're going to get back to the toy buy in just a minute, finish up the story there. But when him and Frank came back from the toy buy, Justin was talking like this. Justin was talking about Italian sausage, and he was doing the voice, and he doesn't do it on purpose, but it happens to him.
So,
when he's around Italian people, it just happens. He's not making it up, it's not a joke, he's not making fun.
It's hard to fall out of it.
It just happens to him.
Not to that extent.
I'm not doing a good Justin impression at all.
No, you're not.
I'm sorry, I'm not doing a good Justin
impression.
But
yes,
The Italian has been out of Justin in full force for the last few days since this collection came in.
No, not for a few days. I have to shake it off.
It's been a few days since you guys came back. And then we watched the movies. And we're watching the movies and he's like, oh, hey, can you hand me the remote?
It's not untrue.
Okay, I'm thinking...
All untrue.
We don't have a remote. He's right. It's not true. We don't have a remote. So my little Italian sausage, I'm sure he looked really cute in those outfits. I had the same problem. He did. He was cute. He was cute. He was like a little piece of gabagool. He was cute.
It's not really an Italian word.
It's not. And I'm just
I don't want to
silly.
get into all that.
No, now I'm just being silly. So this collection obviously was way more than we ever... Now, we knew there was a lot of stuff. We had the inventory. But when someone says their dad knew Sylvester Stallone, you take it with a grain of salt. You don't expect to walk in and meet Sylvester Stallone's goddaughter. You don't expect to walk in and have these people pull out photo albums of their dad, the best man at Sylvester Stallone's wedding. You don't expect that.
So, if you want to see who the man we're talking about,
yes,
the first person you see in the movie Daylight, which is a decent movie.
It's good.
It's one of those good Stallone 90s action movies.
It's not bad.
It's no Demolition Man.
No.
But it's no Stopping My Mom Will Shoot. You know what I mean? It's a decent action movie.
It's somewhere between...
Stallone's good in it.
The two of them.
There's only a little bit of But the first person you see in that movie is Big Tony Munafo.
Yes. He's one of the truck drivers. Where's my money? I want my money. What's going on? Where's the money?
Oh, he played himself in these movies. I talked to his kids, and Frank actually asked his kids, was your dad a good actor? And I answered it before, because they showed us a bunch of pictures and stuff.
Mr. Munafo's highlight reel.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't like acting; it was just stills. But I could tell that his acting was him. You know, he was a Goomba, and his acting, he played a Goomba in all those roles.
See, I can't use the word Goomba because I do not really have any Italian heritage.
So, if you watch Rambo: First Blood Part 2, in the beginning, Troutman goes to the prison where Rambo's breaking rocks and gets Rambo to come to the gate. The guard that walks Rambo to the gate is Big Tony Munafo.
Yeah.
It's the guy we bought this collection from, who accumulated this collection. He has a big sweat stain down the front. You're going to recognize that guard as soon as you watch that scene. You're going to be like, oh, that guy.
He is also in Over the Top. First of all, he's the associate producer of Over the Top. Secondly, he's also the referee, not at the end, but in the first arm wrestling competition he has, like at the bar with his son, Tony. He plays a character named Tony.
I don't want to get into that movie, but Maron. What a terrible movie.
So, when we were watching Sylvester Stallone movies...
Robert Loggia!
Like a year ago, when we were watching Sylvester Stallone movies, we tried to watch Over the Top.
She couldn't get... She made me stop.
Now, I need to be really clear about this. I love shit garbage films. Plan 9 from Outer Space is one of my favorite movies.
Ricky-O, the
story of Ricky is one of my favorite movies. I love crap movies. Not even 10 minutes into this film, I was like, I can't watch this. So we turned it off, like a year ago. We turned it off. Well, we're on a Tony Munafo kick, so we watched this movie. And I'm glad that I did. Because it was a heartfelt story of a man...
Terry Funk is one of Robert Loggia's heavies in it.
No, the movie made no freaking sense. The plot was all over the place. The person who wrote the original book actually was in tears in the movie seeing what they had done to his story. Because his story made sense and the movie didn't.
Bull Hurley is a compelling character who I early wanted to base my life on.
So compelling. You did a good job, by the way.
I did. I had, back in the day, my head was shaved. I had the handlebar mustache.
There's a picture of Justin where he looks exactly like Bull Hurley from this movie. Except he has a tattoo on the side of his head and Bull does not.
I was actually a little bit more badass than Bull Hurley.
What else have we not talked about?
I actually want to grab the Savage Strike because that's really the piece.
All right,
if people are going to be watching this, I want them to. I want to talk about that.
Let me talk a little bit more about the other crap that isn't as interesting. This Rambo bag. I could not find this bag anywhere. I searched the entire internet. It's like a Jim duffel bag. Like, you know how when he's in town, he's got his little duffel bag that he's carrying? It's the Rambo brand duffel bag.
Oh my god!
It is amazing.
So you can walk around town.
Yes, you can be Rambo with all this stuff.
Well, and you could get escorted.
He's got legs. He's no legs.
You can get escorted out of town by the police. But all you wanted was a sandwich.
And what else? Can the folks at home see behind you? Yes, if you duck, they can see behind you.
Oh, the sheets.
Yeah, there's also a set of Rambo. It's almost a whole bed set. It's a comforter. It's like a blanket, pillowcases.
Well, who doesn't want to go to bed? with Rambo and the Force of Freedom.
I mean, if you can't cuddle Sylvester Stallone at night, I don't know what kind of life you're living. Seriously.
This is awesome. Every big 80s toy line did like a comforter blanket.
Anabis Investments. I've noticed a lot of the stuff says Anabis Investments on it. I don't know who that is. But, yeah, man, a lot of the cases say, like, Stephen J. Cannell, Laura Martell Pictures, MGM.
So
this stuff is crazy.
There's a picture at the bottom that shows that if you wanted a Rambo life as a kid,
you could do it.
What your life would have been like. And it's a bedspread comforter. It looks like this is like a blow-up bop bag.
That's cool. And again, it's that beautiful
a poster.
Art.
And, like, this, you could have lived this way as a kid and then went out to your garage, got on your adolescent death machine bicycle, rode it out into the street, conquered bullies, arm wrestled bad guys.
No, I can't reach that.
Saved POWs. Ended.
There's so much stuff; it's literally cascading around me right now.
Ended revolts in Afghanistan. You could have done all that just as a kid yourself. Fell in love with Thai women. What else did Rambo do? Flew helicopters. Stitched his own wounds.
So this is really, of all the stuff that we got in this collection, this piece is probably.
Yep.
Well, I should really say these pieces because there are multiples. I don't want to go too crazy, but there are multiples of this bad boy.
So this is.
And again, this is from the toy line, which the action figure toy line, which there was not a lot of stuff from in this collection. Take it away, Justin. This thing's amazing.
Well, this is the Coleco Savage Strike Headquarters, and it's a giant tower and a base you build. This is sealed, beautiful box. General Warhawk, I believe, was the main bad guy of the of Savage. I forget what Savage stands for. Like I said, you can make it up yourself.
I'm sure someone watching knows what it means, and they can give us a hint.
It does mean something.
Well, it's an acronym. It has to mean something.
Oh yeah, like I said. Super.
Can we bring it more forward so they can see it?
Yeah. General Warhawk will stop at nothing in his attempt to rule the world. His Savage Strike Headquarters is loaded with ammunition, guns, and equipment for his next evil mission.
Evil.
The guard tower is equipped with a trapdoor to stop any intruders. Interchangeable mounts allow Savage members to position equipment where it is needed. And an ultra-high-tech communications center enables the general to transmit orders to Savage armies all over the world. And on the back it shows some of the Savage bad guys with all of their ammo cans, and we'll flip it around.
Yeah,
so there were some figures that I believe were South America only that are very rare, and I don't think any of those figures are pictured here. I guess Rambo is supposed to infiltrate. Yeah, actually, you could see him Is that Rambo infiltrating?
No, that's like an Asian woman.
Oh, okay. Okay, so there's a captured Asian woman inside of
a tower here.
Oh,
she's also on the back.
And this thing is gigantic. The Rambo figures were, I think, like 7 or 8 inch.
So it actually says here, approximate height of tower without antenna, 27 inches tall. So that is
well over 2 feet
insane.
tall.
It includes, this is everything that it comes with, guard tower with trapdoor, pivoting crane and working winch, flagpole, signal light, antenna, laser rangefinder, microwave link, and there's a little asterisk next to it, and the asterisk means non-operational.
So you really can't microwave anything.
Yeah, in case you thought you could microwave something. Communication center, tactical ground radio, handset, and handset with microphone, surrounding bunker. 25mm anti-aircraft gun, 2 25mm bullet belts, 2 25 ammo boxes, a light machine gun, grenade launcher, powder kegs, ammo boxes, AK-47s, M60s, explosive cases, and an info card.
Right. Now, if this was a typical toy review,
wow,
we'd have a loose example of this, and we'd have like a beautiful little merry-go-round for it to set up on, and our hands would be manicured, and we'd have multiple camera angles, and we'd be speaking with British accents.
You didn't tell me I had to get a manicure.
This Savage Strike Headquarters is one of the premier action play sets of the 1980s, and you would only see our hands and not see our faces. Well, we don't do the same toy reviews everybody else does. Maybe one day we'll get into like the minutia of that.
So as I thought, someone in the comments has told us what it stands for. Savage stands for Specialist Administrators of Vengeance, Anarchy, and Global Extortion. So
I like what I said better.
You were right about the vengeance. You had the V right. Because what else could it be?
Yeah.
They're bad guys. It had to be vengeance.
They're
right?
vengeful, vengeant people.
Yeah, vengeful cop of vengeance.
This was made by Coleco in 1986. I actually don't know the year.
And I would say 86. Look at the back. I think it says 85, 86. Yeah, 85, 86.
So this is a typical toy review. This is us hanging, talking.
And telling a story about this amazing collection and some of the stuff.
Maybe someday we will do real toy reviews, and we'll set up a Lazy Susan and spin the toys around and manicure our hands. And
I will not ever get a manicure.
And but I want to leave. There's so many of those people on YouTube. There's so many generic toy people like reviewing the same toys. Go look up Optimus Prime. There's 70,000 people saying this is a G1 Optimus Prime. Get out of here, man.
All right, stop.
Yep.
This is an amazing piece. It's probably the single coolest.
I didn't collect Rambo as a kid.
No, I obviously didn't.
Not my scale.
I think so. My favorite thing about the box art's amazing. It's just cool. It's huge. But my favorite thing about the box in general, if you take a look at the side, there's actually a label right here that says ship to. So when you bought this thing on mail order from wherever you bought it from, you got it shipped to you right in this outer. There was no outer box. This was the box you got when you bought this thing online. When you bought this thing on mail order, you got this box shipped to your house with a little label affixed to it right there. So that is just a little piece of now.
Cool. Oh, Rambo!
Oh my
I got my scar. I got my scar.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
You okay?
Yeah, I did it to myself.
I'm sorry. No, you didn't. I'm
All
sorry.
Right. So I guess that's our Rambo story.
Is it? No. Let's talk a little bit more. So, no, I want to talk a little bit more about Tony's family. So Tony, Mr. Munafo, the elder who passed away. Obviously, he was a bodyguard. He worked in Hollywood, but he had his own family-owned and operated business, Tony's Discount. Well, over the years, Tony's Discount has turned into Tony's Workwear. His family still owns and operates basically the same business in the same building as it did all those years ago. So these cases of Rambo stuff were sitting in that back room since he got them. Some of them do have price tags, so maybe they were up on the shelf, but they all went back in the boxes and stuff. And Tony's family is still running a business in that location. Check out Tony's Workwear right here on Facebook. They're right here in Jersey, Forked River, I believe. It's amazing that a small family-owned and operated business can survive and thrive. You said they're doing great. They just expanded their operation.
The store was packed.
Yeah. So
and really nice. It was a very nice store.
Yeah, it's really cool to see a family business get passed down. His kids are into it, and they're continuing his legacy. So this one's for you, Tony. This was really fun.
Thank you, Tony. Big Tony. Thank you. Paisan.
I mean, the fact you met, I didn't get to meet her. You got to meet Sylvester Stallone's goddaughter. It's insane to me.
That's pretty funny.
It's insane.
So one last thing, and Frank is commenting, and he said...
Frank is watching.
He made me realize something that is ubiquitous with 80s toys, and it was the height of it. Not the toys weren't just the best thing about the 80s. The art with 80s toys. If you look at G.I. Joe, Transformers, He-Man... and even into Coleco Rambo, the art for this stuff is some of the best stuff from the 80s, if you ask me. It's
just so cool. All the art is just so cool.
The art on the cards and on this is amazing. And just like most other 80s toy lines, the art really sold it for us kids. And I just wanted to touch on that. That's it. We just wanted to do a little quick talk. We're actually going to, like I said, we're going to post this on YouTube with a little bit of little tweaking.
And we want to start doing this from Retro to Right Now stuff a little more. We're not just about selling toys. We are part museum.
Well, we love hanging with you guys.
And, well, that goes without saying. We love hanging with you guys. But we want to do more museum-y stuff. And not just, we're not
we'll be doing this
hawking our wares.
Once a month. We would like to do it once a week, but it's time-consuming.
Yeah.
We'll be picking a specific thing and doing this. So this is, we've done a couple others. So look up our Retro to Right Nows. I know we talked about, in a different format a little bit, but we talked about Sears exclusive G.I. Joe stuff.
Which was a really good one.
We talked about Rare Marvel Legends.
Yeah, we did. And I think we even did a few, like a review of the Toys That Made Us episode, a few episodes.
So that's it. You guys always know how to take me back to my childhood. That's what we try and do, right? To a better place.
I mean, that's what we're about, right?
From Retro Right Now.
All right. Guys, you might see more of this stuff again in the future. But in the meantime...
Yeah, we might be doing a claim sale with this Rambo stuff. We're not sure yet.
We're not 100%.
There's a lot to process.
So
we're going to get it processed, and we're not sure exactly what we're doing with it. Sign off. But you might see it on a claim sale, or some of it. Who knows? You might be seeing me riding around on a bicycle.
Oh, that's definitely happening. Bye, guys.